Right now, on to the point. Hundreds still unaccounted for. Maui residents demanding answers. Tonight, a Sacramento family walks us through their escape.
We've seen it way too many times here in California. People get stuck.
Finding Sideshow spectators. One city leader is making moves for it to happen. And when will this extreme heat end? Good evening. This is To the Point. I'm Alex Bell. Nearly 100 people are confirmed dead in the fires on Maui. Residents, they want answers and they can use your help. You can make a Red Cross donation by scanning the QR code on your screen. Tonight, we start with the Sacramento family of 5 who spent 72 hours trying to escape the flames.
So it started off as a great vacation in Maui, our 10th year there, making memories with the family. And then just like that, things changed. High winds from Dora came in. We thought it was just, power outage. And then you look across the beach and see this in Lahaina, smoke, high winds, and something's not right. Next thing you know, there's lines, hundreds of people sitting in lines for hours, hoping to get some food, some water, just some basic essentials to get back to our hotel. And then we see this at 3:30 in the morning, and you know that it's time to run to shelter, because seeing that in the middle of the night is scary. More lines form in the Pili as we headed north to a shelter there. There were a few restaurants giving away free food, free acai bowls. Our daughter just kind of smiling, eating soup, not really understanding the devastation that's taking place just 3 miles south of us. An eerie feeling in the grocery stores as we head in there with no power. You can't get meat because it has already gone bad. And to add to that, gas stations not open, no gas. Others are just trying to find cell service. There are a few different spots here and there where cell service was spotty. And then we get a shuttle to the airport. Passing through Lahaina was surreal. Just ground zero. You can smell the smoke. You can hear people crying. This is something that I wish my family and I can erase from our memory. Just a city that we've made so many memories together, and to see it just gone is just absolutely heartbreaking. And to have our daughter at a shelter, kids at a shelter, so many great people there just trying to take care of you. You just can't believe that you're actually there, and you have become a displaced family just trying to get help. We've been so grateful to have friends that live there. They took us in on the other side of the island. They helped us, just get some food, get a shower. And in the end, we finally get a flight home, and you just feel relieved, but at the same time you feel guilty that there are still others there just trying to make it.
You can literally hear the pain in his voice. Yeah. That's hard. Chief Meteorologist Monica Woods joins us now. And Monica, we want to talk to you because you spent the morning talking to this family that just shared their story.
Absolutely. Traveling with a family of 5 can be hectic. When the fires accelerated in Lahaina, the Cardenas family jumped to action, drawing on images and memories of California's most catastrophic wildfires.
It's actually a scout.
Now safely back in Sacramento, Anna, Angel, Ariana, Andres, and Chili reflecting on lessons from Lahaina.
So walk me through the day leading up to the fires.
So he woke up at about 7, went to Lahaina CrossFit to see if it was open. He came back about 25 minutes later and he said, power's out everywhere. And I tried to get gas, and no gas stations are open. We were on a quarter tank of gas at that point.
But the winds were more than concerning, at least for the Cardenases, who have witnessed how weather changes fire behavior. They were staying just 3 miles north of Lahaina, and during the day, instinct started kicking in.
It's very scary because you see the smoke coming up from Lahaina, and it's pretty scary at first.
Being from California, you see smoke, light switch goes on, something completely different can happen in the blink of an eye. But everyone else is just kind of, wandering around, no panic yet. And so that's when things got scary.
As the night progressed, how did you start to feel a shift in your intuition?
I'm thinking, living in California, fires happen, and I've heard stories. So we packed all of our bags, we put them in our rental car. Angel positioned the car so that we could get out very quickly if we needed to. We got water, we got some food, and then I started thinking of things we could even pack in the resort that we may need, a can opener, a knife. We had pillows ready so that when we ended up evacuating, we just grabbed all those things.
At one point, wondering if they were overreacting, but hearing locals talk about Lahaina being on fire was making the situation feel more real. Angel trying to stay calm, but Anna starting to feel the urgency to get out.
My mom was getting scared and saying that, no, he's a local, he knows what he's talking about. That's when I started getting scared, because when she gets scared, I know that's serious.
Knowing it may be too late waiting for a mandatory evacuation, they started a long 72 hours jumping from shelter to shelter and finding flights back for a family of 5. Finally getting back to California with lessons from Lahaina.
I will never have less than half a tank of gas in my car now, and having cash on you because they were only taking cash at stores and we had no cash.
And having a plan, especially if you get separated. But most of all, listening to your gut and following your instinct.
We've seen it way too many times here in California. People get stuck and too many people are trying to get out at the same time. And there's a traffic, issue and you can't get away. And that was in my mind the entire time, is we have to leave before it becomes a point where we can't.
And we've seen this time and time before.
Right.
GPS goes out, cell service is down. I mean, that is not the time to figure things out.
Right. Preparation is key. It remains the #1 message when dealing with dangerous fire weather. An added layer to California's preparation is alerting us to a particularly dangerous situation for red flag warnings. The National Weather Service fine-tuning the criteria when weather can accelerate fire growth at a rate that will be difficult to escape. And CAL FIRE offers this advice.
Listen for the high-low sirens. Heed any evacuation warnings or orders immediately. Your evacuation routes will be communicated from the agencies that do have plans already established for all regions throughout the North State.
So those evacuation routes will be broadcast over loudspeakers, on patrol cars, social media, television, and radio. Keep in mind, smoke and surrounding fire can make the situation even more chaotic and confusing. So having a plan and staying aware can help be the difference for survival. Sometimes visibility is just so poor, you really can't figure out where to go.
Oh, yeah. And Northern California saw a lot of these concerns, not only in the Camp Fire in Paradise, but now, unfortunately, in Maui. Monica, thank you so much. And here are the latest numbers on Maui. 99 people are dead, and that number is expected to rise. Hundreds of people are still unaccounted for. FEMA says there is more than $5 billion worth in damage. President Biden addressed the Hawaiian people today.
Whatever you need, you're going to get. And that'll get aid into the hands of people who desperately need it, who have lost their loved ones, who have lost their homes, their livelihoods, who have been damaged and destroyed.
The cause of the fire is under investigation. Today, shares of the utility Hawaiian Electric were down 40% over concerns the company might be liable. About 80% of the people on the island have power again. Supplies are arriving via boats and planes. Thousands of rooms are opening for families that have been displaced, and some are camping on neighbors' front lawns. And family pets are being rescued. The Maui Humane Society is bandaging burned paws and legs and giving pets oxygen to help with the smoke inhalation. Some of them have already been reunited with their owners. If you want to help Maui, you can scan that QR code on your screen right now to make a Red Cross donation. So far, you have raised nearly $12,000. I want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts here at ABC 10 for your contributions. Next, on To the Point, fining sideshow spectators. One city leader is making moves for it to happen.
And we're continuing to follow our own fire danger. Numerous lightning strikes, up to about 50 so far. We're still tracking that through tonight. What's ahead for the rest of the work week?
And Governor Newsom creating another climate pact, this time with Australia. Lightning started several fires in Siskiyou County. This is the Pondosa area. CAL FIRE says they are fighting this fire from the ground and air. There is concern for more lightning strikes in the mountains. And Monica, it's been hot out, to say the least.
Right, so we've got the combination. We're tracking numerous thunderstorms as well as some of the heat in the valley, and that's adding to the humidity. Oh, it's feeling sticky out there. Now, our radar currently showing most of the lightning strikes starting to dissipate right now, but certainly plenty of them popping up there on the northwest coast. We'll track that through tonight. Lots of showers coming in and some thunderstorms earlier today, now starting to quiet down as we move our way through the Sierra Spine. But again, over towards the coast, that's where we're seeing most of the action. And that's where it was concentrated yesterday as well. This is around a low pressure system that continues to feed us with the moisture. Meantime, as Alex was mentioning, the heat here in the valley due to that high pressure ridge sinking, warming air, bring in the big time summer heat. Risk of thunderstorms continues pretty much for the same exact area for tomorrow, and our elevated fire risk is going to shift ever so slightly, staying on the coast, but we lose the effects here on the northwest coast and then moving in through extreme northern California. In fact, we'll even start to see some of those red flag warning conditions right around the California-Oregon border. Excessive heat warning continues through Thursday along the coast as we head into the valley. It's our heat advisory through Thursday. Highs still between 100 and 108, and those lows are still in the 70s to near 80. Average high 92 degrees. Today, Sacramento executive reaching 102. Tomorrow, we'll see highs close to 80 for the Sierra. Chance of thunderstorms, 90s and 100s continue as we head down the hill. Highs in the 70s along the coast. We're still in the 100s widespread throughout the valley. This is our stretch of the peak heat that we knew was coming our way right through the middle of the work week, with overnight lows right about 70. Now, we're still close to 100 on Thursday, dropping to near 90 over the weekend, getting warm again for the middle of the next work week, Alex.
All right, thanks, Monica. Extreme weather events brought Governor Newsom and Australia's ambassador together today. The two met in downtown Sacramento to announce a new pact focused on working together to better the response to droughts, heat, and wildfires. The goal is to reduce emissions and create more clean energy along with clean energy jobs.
Already, as I was telling the ambassador, 6 times more green energy jobs in California than fossil fuel jobs. And this is a fossil fuel job producing state.
In 2020, both Australia and California saw some of the worst wildfire seasons, costing billions of dollars in damage. Next, on to the point, fining sideshow spectators. One city leader is making moves for it to happen. Cracking down on sideshows. Last week, Sacramento City Council member Lisa Kaplan announced on To the Point that she is trying to fine spectators and increase consequences for those participating in sideshows. Our Jeannie Nguyen joins us with an update on that plan. Jeannie?
Alex, we just learned Council member Lisa Kaplan's proposal did not pass during a meeting today. And while she is still working to crack down on sideshows, others told me the ordinance she's proposing is not going to make a difference.
It was another busy weekend for Sacramento police, as officers did their best to break up this sideshow involving 100 cars in the East El Paso Heights neighborhood.
Not in our jurisdiction, not in our county, not in our region.
During Tuesday's Law and Legislation Committee meeting, Sacramento Council member Lisa Kaplan introduced her ordinance to increase fines when it comes to sideshows. Over the last year, Sacramento police data shows there has been 323 sideshows across the city, with 56 arrests within that same time frame. Kaplan's proposal would impound cars for 30 days, increase fines, and potential jail time.
We cannot actually legislate and try to criminalize things out of existence.
Keon Bliss is an active community member and disagrees with Kaplan's proposal, saying sideshows are typically enjoyed by communities of color. He says this proposal is just targeting those people.
Why don't we try to embrace that and meet with the community members that actually enjoy and experience these activities as part of their cultural heritage?
A big factor in Kaplan's proposal is safety.
Our communities deserve to be safe.
Earlier this month, Sacramento fire officials say an innocent bystander had his car set on fire for being at the wrong place at the wrong time. And while Bliss agrees safety is a problem, he believes there's a better solution than proposing more fines.
Why not give people a designated area, or better yet, just like make it easier to do within the areas that people enjoy doing or that are accessible?
Right now, city officials say you can do donuts and race legally at places like the Sacramento and Sonoma Raceway and Thunder Hill. Because this ordinance did not pass today, it will be presented again next month during another Law and Legislation Committee hearing so that all council members can address concerns before it fully goes to City Council.
And are there any other ideas being floated, to stop sideshows from happening?
Yeah, Alex, a part of this proposal includes engineering treatments to help to high problem areas. Now that can include speed bumps, or plastic curbs at intersections that we see the most sideshows at.
All right, Jeannie, thank you so much. We appreciate it. In other news, police are warning about new scams involving gift cards. There are several complaints in Auburn about someone calling people asking them to send money or a gift card in exchange for more money. Auburn police want to make it clear that this is a scam. Do not give away any personal information and do not go out to the store to buy any gift cards for someone. And if someone calls saying that they are your family, make sure you contact your family first. California Attorney General Rob Bonta is apologizing for his office's role in the incarceration of Japanese Americans during World War II. This includes using legal tools to deprive Japanese Californians of their liberty and financial security. Marielle Tsukamoto, who was 5 years old when she and her family were sent to Arkansas in 1942, she said that this apology is meaningful to her and her family, and she hopes that history won't be repeated.
I know that for my parents who are long gone and for my grandparents who suffered the most during the incarceration experience, it would mean so much. My parents never gave up the hope and the idea that as an American, that we would be treated honorably.
Former California Attorney General Earl Warren was supportive of rules that targeted more than 120,000 people of Japanese ancestry. New information following the Georgia election indictments. The Fulton County District Attorney is accusing former President Trump and 18 members of his team of election interference under Georgia's Racketeering Act, saying that they tried to illegally overturn the state's 2020 election results. Former President Trump now has 10 days to turn himself in. He is being charged with 13 counts, including racketeering, soliciting a public officer to violate his oath, conspiring to commit forgery, and conspiring to file false documents. This is criminal case number 4 as the former president continues campaigning for re-election. Experts say the charges in Georgia are more dangerous. If he wins the election in a federal case, he can kind of make it go away. He can't do that with this case because this is more of a local case. And the question has come up time and time again. Can we have a president that's actually been charged with crimes? Our Casey Decker verifies.
Let's verify. Can you be elected president if you've been charged with or convicted of a crime? Our sources are the Constitution and the U.S. Supreme Court. Article 2 of the Constitution lays out 3 eligibility requirements for becoming president. You have to be a natural-born American citizen, be at least 35 years old, and have been a U.S. resident for at least 14 years. That's it. No other requirements. And the Supreme Court has further ruled that neither Congress nor state legislatures can add new requirements on top of what the Constitution already says. The only way to change the requirements would be a constitutional amendment. So we can verify, yes, you can be elected president if you've been charged with or convicted of a crime. Even someone who's found guilty and sent to prison could still, legally speaking, if elected, run the country from a cell. With your Verify, I'm Casey Decker.
As presidential campaigns continue, President Biden will be visiting Lake Tahoe to take some time off. The president will be spending a week on the Nevada side of the lake. It's not clear where Air Force One will land or where he will be staying. Next on To The Point, a national honor for our reporting team. Breaking news, people are being asked to stay out of the area around Hughes Stadium at Sacramento City College. There was a police shooting. Sacramento police say that no officers were hurt, and we do have a crew on the way to the area. We'll have more coming up tonight at 11. ABC 10's Firepower Money reporting just won a National Edward R. Murrow Award, and it is the most prestigious awards in journalism. This is the second time that Firepower Money has won. The story, Firepower Money, who's behind the PG&E bailout, looked at how Governor Newsom's administration and state leaders protected PG&E by steering their bankruptcy plan to favor the corporation at the expense of fire victims. This investigation was also nominated just days ago for a National News Emmy. If you want to watch it, make sure you head to firepowermoney.com. And today marks 1 year for To The Point. We first launched this show back in August so we could spend a lot more time telling the stories that really matter to you at home. So over the year, many of you have reached out with lots of encouraging words, lots of story ideas, and I want to let you know we read all of your emails, all of your comments. We listen to all of your voicemails, and I want to thank you for welcoming me and the team every night into your home. And hey, if there's something that you want us to look into, make sure you reach out to us. You can always send me an email at tothepoint@abc10.com. Have a great night. I'll see you tomorrow. Hey, it's Alex. Just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. I really love hearing from everyone, and I hope that you'll stay in touch. Reach out to me on Facebook at AlexBellTV, or you can email me at tothepoint@abc10.com, or you can even send me a text message at 916-321-3310.